In 2010, I hurt my back at work and the pain was interfering with my ability to sit for long periods of time. This included my 3-hour-long classes in college. I called a friend who was an opiate pill addict to get a couple of pain pills. Once home, I took 2. I have had numerous surgeries and have taken pills as prescribed by doctors during the recoveries, so I am aware of their effect on me and the potency they have. I have never had an opiate addiction. In fact, I rarely take them even when prescribed because they make me itch uncontrollably. I sat down to study, and within 20 to 30 minutes, I knew immediately something was wrong. I could tell that whatever I took was not the norm because it was much too strong. I managed with great difficulty to get to my bed to lie down. A few minutes later, I was having trouble, both breathing and maintaining consciousness. It felt as if an elephant was sitting on my chest and I could only manage tiny breaths. Keeping my breathing going and try to get my eyes to stay open seemed to require conscious effort. I felt like I was losing total control over my body. I had the thought that I should try and get my head to hang off the bed in case I vomited. I do competitive jiu-jitsu, powerlifting, and overall engage in activities which require great exertion. Moving my head a few inches to hang off the bed in that moment was, to this day, the greatest effort I have ever had to muster in regards to my body. It kept getting harder to breathe. I could no longer make my body move, and the terror then set in. I knew I was likely overdosing on some fake pills. The terror felt like eternity, and then in an instant the terror was gone. It was replaced by a feeling of peace and calm so great, I struggled to find words to describe it. My mind seemed clear, although a moment before it was cloudy and frightened. I knew that I would be okay, whatever happened. I did feel bad for my family and friends if I was to die. I remember trying to pay attention to see if I was still breathing. I couldn't tell. I could no longer see anything since all was black. Then I had a vision. I saw many hills and a mountain around where I live. I could hike, and this is where I spent a lot of time. I had a favorite spot with an old gnarled oak that I used to enjoy resting under. I saw this oak tree, but it seemed to be glowing or lit up somehow. Out of it flew a California scrub jay, a bird I have seen daily my whole life, and would consider my favorite. Nothing was said to me. I then woke up. I was surrounded by dried puddles of vomit and urine. It was approximately 30 hours since the event happened. Once I woke up, I knew I had to switch my major. I don't know how I knew. I had just started college and was taking business classes with the hopes of getting a Master of Business Administration. Somehow I knew I had to become a therapist, so I did. I now specialize in working with children, particularly those with trauma histories. Life after this experience. Before this experience, I was mostly focused on myself and my interests, objects, systems, technology. I'm slightly autistic and have always found things simpler and more reassuring than people. I had a pretty clear idea of the path I wanted to take: a career in business, a Master of Business Administration, something logical and stable. Spirituality wasn't really part of my life. I was raised Catholic, but I became agnostic in my late teens. After the experience, something in me changed. I can't exactly say what it was, but my perception of the world, and especially of other people, shifted. People suddenly became more interesting, more complex, almost essential. I felt that what really matters is human connection, not objects or material goals. That realization pushed me to completely redirect my life. I dropped my business ambitions and decided to pursue a career focused on people. I knew I wanted to help, to be of service, and to help others feel a bit of the peace and meaning I had touched. That feeling of peace I experienced that day, I've never been able to recreate it, not with substances or in any other context. It was beyond physical sensation, like an existential calm. I often struggle to talk about it, because words fall short, and yet it's a memory that's clearer than most other moments in my life. I've only shared it with a few people, just my partner, and only years later. Today, I still don't know exactly what it was or why it happened to me, but I know with certainty that it was real. I haven't become religious, but I sometimes find myself talking to my deceased grandparents. It's not that they talk back. I don't even know if I'm really talking to them, but it brings me comfort. I feel more open, more attentive, more grateful. My wife says I let a lot of things go without getting worked up, and she's right. I think that experience taught me to take things in stride and to focus on what really matters: the connections we build, the kindness we nurture, and that mysterious sense that, somehow, we might be guided to where we're meant to be. Thank you for listening to this near-death experience. If you enjoyed this testimony and would like to hear more, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. You have no idea how much this can help the channel. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you soon.